Hey, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show. Thanks for tuning in to the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM. If you're interested in sponsoring my show, you can send me an email to the Mike Wagner Show at gmail.com, or you could also donate to the podcast. Just go to the Donate Listen site, and you can also donate whatever you like. Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. For those who are interested, Anchor can give you everything you need in one place for free, which you can use right from your phone or computer. We've got creation tools, allows you to record and edit podcasts so it sounds great, and they'll distribute the podcast for you so it can be heard everywhere. Spotify, Apple, Google, many more. And you can make money from the podcast with no minimum listenership. So download the Anchor app for free or go to Anchor FM to get started.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show brings you famous celebrities and amazing people from all over the world. Listen online at themikewagnershow.com and on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And watch the interview on YouTube. So sit back and relax and enjoy the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking for a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. Also, check our Facebook page, facebook.com/the Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, Radio Public, Anchor FM, iHeartRadio, and also subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Also take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. We're here with a wonderful lady from the Washington, D.C. area. She's the author of Divorce in the City. And coming up, a new book, Bold, Brave, Beautiful Love, to be released in the fall. She's a former NFL wife, author, relationship expert, and coach, born and raised in Jonesboro, Arkansas, talks about her career, her faith in Christ, and she's just an amazing firecracker, and she also has a university as well, too, which is a good thing. So we'll talk about the book a little bit, talk about her career, and maybe a little bit of football as well, too, since football is coming up. And ladies and gentlemen, live from the beautiful D.C. area and surrounding, and of course, just having a ball, Winter Harris. Winter, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me, Mike. I'm excited to be here.
Fantastic. Okay, so you're the author of the book Divorce in the City, which is currently out right now, and you're also working on a new book called Bold, Brave, Beautiful Love, to be released in the fall. You're a former NFL wife, author, relationship expert, and coach, born and raised in Jonesboro, Arkansas. You talk about career, your faith in Christ, and also some of your passions as well, too, and a university, which is a good thing. But before we get into all that, tell us how you got started.
Well, I really got started my parents were pastors, so I've always been in church, and so a lot of the things that I was good at or gifted at kind of came out in that arena. And then I went to the University of Arkansas at 17. I was a young freshman going into college.
Wow.
I didn't turn 18. Yeah, I didn't turn 18 until September 26th. So, school typically starts in Arkansas about the first or second week in August. So there was about a month and a half there where I was still 17, but a freshman in college. And I actually went to college in that summer. So I kind of started early and kind of continued. But that's where, I just began to grow and just learn. And then I met my, former husband who was a scholarship athlete. We ended up getting married at 19 years old.
Wow.
And as you can imagine, when you get married that young, you don't really know yourself per se. So there was a lot of growing up that happened during that time. And while there was a lot of growing up, there was a lot of unique experiences that took place. There's not a whole lot of scholarship athletes that are married, let alone have a family at that time. So he was 19 as well. So it was literally unheard of during that time.
Oh, my goodness.
To have a scholarship athlete that was married with a family. And so there was a lot of unique changes. And really, kind of leeway that had to be made to accommodate him both being married and a scholarship athlete. But we made it through, and so that's how I ended up in the D.C. area. He actually signed with the Washington Redskins and remained with them for 3 seasons. And so he's a former NFL player, and definitely a lot of trials and tribulations during that time. But we have 4 beautiful children as a result, and our oldest will be 18 in October.
Nice.
And so, 18, we're a senior year, and so we made it to this point, but we have just amazing kids, and we're just grateful that, you know, even though we did end up in divorce, we still are very good co-parents, and we put our kids first, and we're just, you know, we're in a good place right now, so I'm excited.
That is amazing. And, of course, will your 18-year-old son be playing in the NFL or any chance of it?
So our sons are actually sandwiched in the middle of our girls. We have 2 boys, 2 girls, but both of our boys play football. So our oldest son is actually a starting varsity, but he's a sophomore, standing at a good 5'11".
Nice.
Already at 15 years old. And so he's not even done growing yet. He's actually the same height as his dad right now, so he's looking his dad dead in the eye. And we definitely expect him to get at least 2 to 4 more inches on him just because he's only 15. He's a great receiver like his dad, great hands. On the flip side, our youngest son can't catch a cold, good grief, but he's a great defensive player. And I'm a realist. I'm the realist mom, and I love football, but he is an amazing defensive player. So it's just interesting to see them both kind of, you know, following their dad's footsteps. Our oldest son is already being recruited by colleges, so we do expect for him, you know, to continue on that track. The NFL, we don't know. Kind of time will tell, but I will say their dad was extremely injury-prone in college, actually tore his ACL, had shoulder reconstruction surgery, and had hamstring problems. And so we did not think that he would make it to the NFL because he was dubbed as injury-prone, but had an amazing senior year and still ended up signing with the Skins. So anything can happen. I'm sure it's definitely in his sight. So we just try to encourage him to stay, you know, committed and focused. And so we'll see, you know, what the future holds.
That is amazing, too. And I was going to ask about, you know, Stephen Harris, who played in the NFL, and you say he was defensive end. What was it like for him playing with the Washington Redskins, and how did he get along with the players and also the coaches, including the head coach? And I'm trying to remember who was a coach in 2000, and I'm going to look that up.
Okay, so he was a receiver. He actually played under the legendary Joe Gibbs. And so he was came in right when Joe was doing his second stint with the Redskins. So he was with the Skins from 2005, and he retired in 2008. And so he played with Sean Spring. Goodness, he played with Santana Moss, Antoine Randall, James Thrash, and Sean, who passed away. So the great cornerback that passed away. So that was our crew. We are all still very close. We still hang out. All of our kids are pretty much the same age. We had a baby boom during 2007 and 2010. So a lot of us have kids that are the same age and coming up together. And so it's a very tight-knit circle. I actually just spoke at the NFL Women's Wives of the NFL conference back in June. And so you don't necessarily, even though we're divorced, you don't necessarily get out of that lifestyle just because it's a unique experience. And so you still remain intensely connected. And I'm very grateful, and he's very grateful for the friendships we still have. And so, yeah, he still has a great relationship with his teammates. I mean, they all still, you know, hang out, and they do coach like Little League, and he does some training on the side, even though he has a professional career now. But it's great. It's really, really great. I'm grateful for the experience. Not everyone gets it, but we are definitely grateful for the time that we had.
That is amazing too, and of course, you know, being blessed, be around great players and everything else, and you know, even after a few seasons, you know, being the NFL is just an honor as well too. And before we get to some of your books, you know, just one football question: how do you think the Washington Redskins are going to do this year?
Oh, goodness. Okay, so I am a Steelers fan. However, I'm an undercover Redskins fan just because I still have too many friends that play for them. I don't know. I'm on the fence. I try not to put too much hope in them because I feel like they always kind of let me down. I try to stay neutral. I don't know. I feel like if they can really pull their offense together, they may be onto something. I just feel like they struggle for one reason or another. They can never get in sync. I feel like when the defense is really great, the offense is down, or when the offense is great, the defense is down. So I think if they could find some balance and continuity between the offense and defense and stay consistent, then they have a real chance at some point. But I don't know that it's this season.
Exactly.
That's my honest assessment.
Exactly. It's like one of those teams as well, too. You have one or two missing intangibles. You fill the intangibles, then all of a sudden you have two more intangibles that comes up. Kind of reminds me of the Buffalo Bills. It's like, one or two unexplained pieces, you fill those up. Next thing you know, another one or two just come up. It seems like the Washington Redskins are, in a sense, kind of like the Buffalo Bills of the NFC.
Yeah.
So
no, I don't disagree. I would agree.
Right, yeah. So we'll get to some of your book as well, too, and some of your projects. Listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking for a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com. Also, check our Facebook page, facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor FM, and Radio Public. And also subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. And take The Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. We're here with Winter Harris, the author of Divorced in the City. Also has a new book coming out, Bold, Brave, Beautiful Love, to be released in the fall. Former NFL wife, author, relationship expert, and coach, and born and raised in the Jonesboro area, now living in the D.C. territory. Talks about her career, faith in Christ, and everything else. And let's talk about a bit about author of Divorced in the City, and just tell us a little bit about the book and what inspired you to write it.
So Divorced in the City, it's definitely a comedic take. I always try to tell people, because a lot of people say, well, I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going through a divorce, and I haven't been through a divorce. And I'm like, no. It's really funny. It's just the way I express myself in a lot of ways is through humor. I love to crack jokes. And so this was a comedic take on my experience kind of transitioning back into the single arena as a divorcee in the D.C. area. Now, D.C. is a unique space. It's very eclectic. It's a melting pot of people. And therefore, the dating scene is quite interesting. It's probably the best word that I can use to describe it. And so having been married for 15 years, there's a lot that's changed, right? From the time I was 19 and I got divorced, around, 33, 33, 34, it was different. And so there's a digital age, there's dating apps, there's, swipe right, swipe left, and I was confused. And so there was a lot of lessons that I learned. And so I realized that a lot of the journey of my divorce was not necessarily finding a replacement for my ex-husband, but really discovering who I was as a woman and what my purpose was and why I was really here, and really just kind of embracing the strength that I gained as a result of going through a divorce. And so I really came to the understanding of being okay with Winter, and Winter didn't require another person to be just secure and sure of who she was. And so, but it's hilarious. I tell some of my dating instances. Yeah, it's so funny. It's really, really funny. You're going to laugh. It's going to make you think, but hopefully you walk away with a smile and just encouraged in whatever you're going through. But that's Divorced in the City in a nutshell. And I released that last year. And so definitely the prelude to the book that I have coming out, actually on my birthday in September.
Oh, happy birthday.
It will be released. Yes, thank you. I'm a Libra, but excited about this book. It's been a long work in progress, and just excited to finally put the ink to the paper and get it down. And so I think this is my best work. I love everything I've written, but I really feel like this is my best work to date.
It sounds really amazing too. And where can people purchase a book?
And so you can actually, I have an author page on Amazon. So if you just literally type in author Winter Harris, it will pull up my author page, and you will actually see all the books that I've written, and they're available for purchase on Kindle or by print. Bold, Brave, Beautiful Love which is expected out of my birthday, is available for pre-order, but only on my site. It won't be until about a week or two after it's released on my birthday that it will actually go up on Amazon and pretty much anywhere books are sold, Barnes & Noble, Kindle, Lulu, everywhere. It'll be everywhere after about a week or two of that release date. But if you want to go and pre-order, I am signing all pre-orders and I'm shipping them for free. So it's a really good deal to get in there. It's the first time I've ever had my face on the cover of a book that I've written. I'm not too keen on self-promotion. I struggle with it a lot. You kind of don't have a choice when you're writing books and promoting products. But I made a decision to be bold, because I am talking about bold, brave, beautiful, love, to conquer a fear of mine. And actually put my face on the cover of the book. So I'm very proud of it. The cover turned out amazing. And so, yes, this book is definitely personal to me, just because it is about overcoming fear, not just in love, but in life. There's so many things that keep us just stuck and afraid to go chase our dreams and chase our purpose, because we're just, battling with fear. But this book is definitely a tool that people can use to help walk out the process and moving past fear into faith and believing that anything is possible if you can just believe and act.
Mm-hmm. And what are some of the advice that you offer in the book as well, too, like with love, dating, lessons, and all that? What's some of the advice that you offer as well, too, and some of your experiences in the book?
Well, one of the things I really talk about is how fear never really fights fair, right? It definitely allows, it forces us to create mountains out of molehills. Everything's a struggle. Everything's bigger than what it is. And so within the book, I really address how you can see things for what they are, not allow your fear to really make bigger issues that can be addressed. Because one of the things I find, especially in my coaching sessions, is that when people are so afraid, they focus on the end of a thing rather than the process to kind of get through it. And then the end is not as bad as they think. When we focus on the end and everything's so bad, it's really difficult to walk the process out of really finding a solution that is actually, doable and solvable. And so a lot of my couples that I work with as well, there's a lot of fear that they hang on to their past. And so they actually deal with their partner when issues arise. They do deal with their partners with position from their past, right? So not only are their partners fighting the issue, they're also fighting their past. And so we really work on getting or separating it and getting past your past so you can really deal with the issue and move forward in your relationship. So your past doesn't have such a strength that it shouldn't have, because we should be working on the process of healing our past. So we're not bringing it into future relationships. But people definitely bring that baggage along, and it just creates all sorts of problems. So we discuss that in the book, how we release that past so we can just deal with the issues at hand and get past them and not allow that fear of being hurt, maybe where we've been traumatized in the past, or our vulnerability has been taken advantage of in the past, not allow that to really hinder us from moving forward and finding the love that we desire and deserve.
That is amazing, too. You talked about people carrying baggage. Way back when, before social media, you learned how to deal with the baggage. And now it seems like more and more people are carrying the baggage on social media, and it keeps building and building and building and building. And do you think all this baggage is going to be more of a problem nowadays than it was in the past?
Absolutely, because what social media has done has given everyone the opportunity to have a microphone. And so where we were more keen to address problems behind doors, we address problems in public. And when you address problems in public, you open the door for public opinion. And unfortunately, opinions are not facts. And so when you involve the counsel of a lot of different opinions, and when those opinions are not founded in fact and truth, you breed confusion. And we find that a lot of relationships dissolve as a result of social media because there are too many opinions that relationship has been subjected to. I always tell my couples, if you can take time away from others' opinions, commit to devoting devoting time to just focusing on the issue, just you and another person, maybe a third party, a trusted party like a therapist or a counselor or a pastor, that can really help you guys, A, have accountability, B, facilitate vulnerability, and C, facilitate truth and honesty. then you have a lot greater chance of really salvaging and healing whatever the issue is, as opposed to going on social media, blasting it, and getting everyone's opinion. They just want to have a front seat. They don't really want to see you win, and they don't want to see the relationship last. And so, yeah, social media plays a huge role. It's unfortunate because I think there's so much good in social media, but of course with good there comes bad, and that is definitely a downside.
So it sounds like a double-edged sword when it comes to that, and also Christianity. And do you think that's been elevated to an extent on social media, or do you think people are like, cutting it down? Because we know you talk about your faith in Christ as well, too. And do you think, is it being more magnified on social media, or I think that's being put down by people?
I think it's a give and take, and I think it depends on what your environment is. I will say that my following is predominantly Christian, and so I don't get a ton of pushback. But as I venture out into some of the more secular arenas, if you will, definitely social media, like I said, has given us a microphone. So whereas I may have said something before that might not have been popular opinion and no one would say anything, social media gives another person a microphone to push back and says, hey, I don't agree with that. Or, hey, I want to challenge you on that. Or, hey, I want to argue with you on that. So I believe social media, though, is a good thing for Christianity, because what it is challenging us to do is not just be good preachers of the word, but good doers of the word. And it is challenging us to really practice what we preach, not just on social media, not just at work, but behind closed doors. Because we know that what we practice behind closed doors is ultimately what's going to show up to other people, and it's what other people are honestly going to notice. And so I think it's a good thing for Christians. It's challenging us to really step up to the plate and do what we're called to do and practice what we're called to practice.
That is amazing, too. We'll talk about your career as a relationship coach and also social media expert and, being a Christian counselor as well, too. And we'll get to your book in just a minute. Listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all you need. Looking for a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition way. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. Also, check our Facebook page, Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, also on iHeartRadio, Radio Public, and Anchor FM. Also, watch The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel, subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show, and take The Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. We're here with Winter Harris, the author of Divorce in the City, and a new book coming out in the fall called Bold, Brave, Beautiful Love, former NFL wife, author, relationship expert, and coach. And she was born and raised in the Jonesboro, Arkansas area, now living in D.C. And you've been a relationship coach for quite some time, and of course, you're an expert on social media. You're doing a great job. And, of course, you talk about, people pass on the microphone to give your opinions. And you're also a Christian counselor as well, too. So tell us how you got to be a relationship coach and how you got to be a counselor.
Well, I feel like relationship coaching found me. When you're married for 15 years, there's a lot of wisdom that you gain through experience. So I hate to call myself a relationship expert. I consider myself a relationship lifespert, just because a lot of the experience is not clinical. It's literally life experience and what I've learned as I've grown as a woman, as I've grown in my, just relationship with Christ. And that even that has had ebbs and flows. But I am a realist to my core, and I think that is what my audience appreciates. I am a truth teller. I tell everyone I'm an equal opportunity truth teller. I am neither for or against male or female. I believe that the truth is the truth. And if it seems like I'm anti-male at the moment, that's what it is. And if it seems like I'm anti-female, that's what it is. I just believe in the truth. And so in our society, we have difficulty accepting the truth. And so I believe that is a part of my call, is to just be a truth teller. And so I got into relationship coaching, just speaking truth and just being honest, and I'm transparent. There's nothing about my life that I don't feel like I can't share. And I always tell people, when you own your truth, it basically doesn't give anyone else to hold your past against you. It doesn't give anyone else the right or the capacity to hold your past against you. So I tell it all. I tell the good, I tell the bad, I tell the ugly. But as a result of that, people see the transparency and they connect with the authenticity of my just willingness to be honest and transparent. And so that's how the relationship coaching, people started reaching out to me and said, hey, can you be my coach? Can you help us through this problem? I had one couple I've worked with for almost a year now, and just to see the growth in them has been amazing. It's very rewarding, and I love it so much. Social media, I am a marketing and communications manager professionally, and so it is an expertise that I have as a result of not only just being on social media with my brand, but also professionally just kind of learning as I've grown in my business. And so I was mentored by a social media expert that kind of taught me the tools and tricks of the trade with growing a brand. And I love it. I really love social media. I meet so many great people. I definitely use it as a connection tool. I know my kids are like, well, before, they get it now, but before they're like, Mom, you're always on social media. And then they realized I legit was making friends, and because they didn't live in the area, that's how I was talking to them. So it was no different than, talking to someone on the phone for me. I would just, go to Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. So I just love the connectivity. I'm a extrovert, so I love people. Some, introverts get charged by being alone. Extroverts get charged by being in the midst of people. That is definitely me. I love people. I'm a people person. So that's kind of a little bit about, the relationship coaching and the social media and just what I do professionally.
That is amazing, too. And, of course, since you have such an influence on Facebook, could you get somebody on Facebook to lift the 5,000 friends on social media? It's like, I love to be friends on people are friends with me, but I hate the limit of 5,000. Maybe you can get a petition on that or something.
Yeah, it's a limit of 5,000 on personal pages. And so this is the one thing I did backwards, and I wish I had have known then what I know now. But what I should have done was to start a public figure page and just started interacting with people from there and building my audience there. What I find is that when you build your following on your personal page, it is very difficult to convert people over to your public figure page because people feel like they're missing some sense of personal connection. And so, Facebook limits your personal following to 5,000, but what they did allow was people to still follow you. And so just like me, I believe I'm maxed out at 5,000 on my personal page, but I still have anywhere between 6,000 and 7,000 people still following on top of the people that I'm friends with. And so it's interesting, but yeah, there's definitely limitations. You just kind of have to find ways to work around it. But the best thing you can do is to start a public figure page. I think on Facebook, between both pages, I'm at like 18,000 between the two.
Wow.
It's a lot to manage sometimes, but I just, I'm normal. I just like to talk to people, so I don't, think I'm, anything special. I just like people, and people apparently enjoy what I have to say, so they follow and hopefully get something out of what I share. But yeah, that's the unfortunate thing. There are limitations, especially with Facebook, with your personal page.
Mm-hmm. And you're also on Instagram and Twitter as well, too. And also, what are some other social media sites on, like LinkedIn or anything like that?
Yes, so I'm on LinkedIn, and I think LinkedIn, especially if you have a professional business or service, if you offer a service, if your brand offers a service, LinkedIn has really taken off in the last year and will only continue to grow as they expand the capabilities within that platform. There's so many things that they're adding. They're adding the social influencer component. They're adding the expert chat to the platform now. So if you are an expert or you have expertise in any particular area, I would certainly encourage you to start building up your LinkedIn profile. Get someone to help you develop your LinkedIn profile. There's a lot of people that offer that service, but build it up. It's a great way to promote yourself from a professional standpoint, but it's also a great way to leverage opportunity. There's a lot of opportunities available to people who may not be like that social media beauty or hair influencer, but if you have, services you can speak about that maybe you speak on as far as like resume building. I have a friend that his business is exploded by growing his platform on LinkedIn because he's good at resume building.
Nice.
And he's good at resume consulting. And so he's seen a growth in his business, went legitimately from nothing to, goodness, he's getting ready to come off his job in a year because he's leveraged LinkedIn. So I would encourage everyone to leverage LinkedIn, especially if you're not in just that general relationship or beauty or hair influencer arena, go to LinkedIn. It's really, really growing, and I think we have a lot more to see from that platform as we continue on.
That is amazing, too. Not only the owner of 2 growing businesses, marketing and communications manager, you're also a full-time doctoral student, and you're also like a workshop presenter, and you're on setting the example for NFL Wives conferences. I mean, oh my gosh, you got so many to listen. You're author of 3 books and a soon-to-be 4th release as well too. And you're also like a gifted singer as well too. You can just tell us a little bit about that and maybe any ambitions on putting out a song or 2, maybe a CD one day.
When I hear people read what I do, I sound like a crazy person. Who in the world is doing all this stuff? I just want to shout out my amazing village and team. That's the only way I can get all this stuff done. But yes, I actually started singing at the age of 5, and my parents' church at the time, they were assistant pastors, and so I started singing at 5. And we just found out at that age that I did have the gift of song. And what is funny though, my sister and I both sing, and so we would sing together a lot. We actually got selected to be backup singers for a local gospel singer. So we were recorded as her background singers. And I learned through that experience I never wanted to pursue singing professionally. I have actually been approached in worship service by recording producers to record something, and I turn them down every time. I love to sing in church and worship. That's as far as that desire goes. It's the one thing that scares me crazy. I know it's funny to say, but I'm telling you the truth. If people could ever see me when I'm singing a song, I am shaking like a leaf. I am shaking. That would be something that literally would have to just descend from heaven as an instruction for me to do. But I like to sing for fun, and I like to sing in church, but that is probably the extent of it. I went to school on a partial vocal scholarship, actually. And so I've been professionally trained for quite some time, but it's not something that I do or enjoy to do on a regular basis. Most of my friends don't even know. I actually just spoke at a retreat over the weekend, and a friend of mine went, and she coerced me into singing with the resort pianist. And so I sung Billie Holiday, and she went live, and people were like, I had no idea you could sing. And wow. I said, let's just keep it that way.
I was going to ask you to sing as well, too. Maybe you can just ask the Lord right now to help you sing a little bit. Of course, he'll probably give you direction. And
oh, goodness. You know what? I'll sing the first verse of the song I sung over the weekend because it's the easiest thing to do. So it's Summertime by Billie Holiday. It's one of my favorite songs. So I'll just sing the first verse.
Okay.
Summertime, and the living is easy. Fish are jumping, and the cotton is high. Your days with, and your mother's looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. All right, there we go.
Wow, that was amazing. Oh, my goodness. And it took a lot of faith to do that. And just love hearing about your faith as well, too, especially when you get started and everything else. We'll talk about that along with your new book. You listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com. Also, check our Facebook page, facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, also on Radio Public, Anchor FM, and subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel and take The Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. We're here with Winter Harris, the author of Divorce in the City, and we'll be talking about the new book, Bold, Brave, Beautiful Love, to be released in the fall. Former NFL wife, author, relationship expert, and coach, and also sang a little bit for us as well, too. And it took a lot of faith in that to do it. And, of course, we love hearing about your faith in Christ. You can just tell us about that and how you got started.
So my faith in Christ is everything to me, even when I haven't always followed the straight and narrow road. I know because of the foundation that my parents instilled in me, it's always been a barometer. Even when I wanted to run off the rails, it's always guided me back to Him and to the cross and to my faith. And just, I definitely have been in a little bit of a transition, I feel, in my faith, and just growing deeper roots so I can be a better representative for Him, not just in my home, but also in what I do, because it's very easy to kind of get sucked in to the mundane routine of just promoting your brand and promoting, relationship advice and, going to the different conferences to speak, or whether it's on the radio or TV. It's very easy to get sucked into just doing that. But I want it to be purpose-filled, and so I definitely have been on a transitional just process the last, I would say, 5 or 6 weeks. And so it's just amazing how many opportunities have started to come as a result of that. And so I'm just amazed at what God is doing in me and how He's using that to just impact people on a deeper level. And so I never want to be, I have this saying, I don't want to be a pretty face with a shallow well. I want to also make sure that I'm not just attractive on the outside, but attractive on the inside. So what's on the inside really overshadows what's on the outside in a way that compels people to ask me more about Him. And therefore I can share my faith in a way that compels them to get to know Him on a deeper level. And so that's a little bit about my faith. I'm always excited to talk about, the things I've gone through and how, God has just been faithful to me. At 20 years old, my ex-husband and I buried our second daughter.
Oh, my gosh.
So,
I'm so
those
sorry.
are things. No worries. It was a traumatic experience, no doubt, but it was actually one of the greatest experiences I've ever gone through in my life, because it's one of the times where I realized that God was really real and that He was really able to carry us through our deepest, darkest times and pain. And so this year she would have been 17 on November 2nd. And what just happened at one of my events that I host the Boss Brunch. And so back in June, we awarded our first scholarship in her honor, and we call it the Autumn Lynn Promise Scholarship. And so she is my seasoned namesake. She was my youngest daughter bears her name. They have different middle names, so Autumn Lynn, and now we have an Autumn Grace. But we were excited to award that scholarship to a young woman back in June. So just to see just the growth and just the faithfulness throughout our experience has been just amazing, absolutely amazing. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that I don't look like what I've been through, and I've been through a lot. And a lot more than most people probably would even want to even think about. Every time I tell my story, there's like certain parts you hear like a mass gasp in the room. But I always tell people, it's just a page. A page in your book doesn't have to be the total story. And that's where I'm grateful that God gives us choice. He gives us the ability to bounce back, and He gives us the ability to begin again. And I'm always grateful for new beginnings, because He's faithful to give us that, and His grace allows us that opportunity. And so I just try to remind people, your circumstance is just a page. You have the decision to make on whether or not you'll let that be the title of your book. Mm-hmm. And so that's a little bit about my faith. I could talk about that forever, but that is certainly near and dear to me, for sure.
That is great, too. And in fact, you say talk about your faith, taking up a whole hour or two. I'd like to have you on back. We'll talk about that as well, too. So I think we just booked ourselves something here, too. So I have to go to my calendar. God help me.
Yes.
So I guess he's kind of working on it right now. But speaking of turning the page, we'll get to your new book called Bold, Brave, Beautiful Love. I need my copy to be released in the fall. And tell us a little bit about the book.
Yes. So Bold, Brave, Beautiful Love, Escaping the Cycle of Loving in Fear. And so it's personal for me because I realized after I divorced, there was a lot of fear that I would not be able to, A, find someone who would be faithful to me, find someone who would support me, and C, find someone who would want to be with a woman that was now a divorcee with 4 kids. Not just one, not just 2, but 4.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was a lot of fear. And I talk about in the book where when we love and fear, we begin to audition for love. And when we audition for love, we are basically indicating that we do not believe we have the capacity to be the star of the show. We believe that every person we encounter is, oh gosh, I got to audition. I got to make sure that they love me. I got to make sure that they like me so they don't leave me or that they choose me. We want to be selected. And the book basically is encouraging people to understand their own worth, to embrace their own values, to understand that you don't have to audition for love, that you were, uniquely and wonderfully created. And there is someone out there, it may take years, but there is someone out there that will absolutely love you, and you don't have to be afraid of being alone. You don't have to be afraid of being unloved. You don't have to be afraid of being unworthy. You are worthy, and you are definitely deserving of that love. You just have to learn how to own it and walk in it. And so that is the book in a nutshell. We go through several processes. I break down what it is for love to be bold, what it is for love to be brave, and what it is for love to be beautiful, and how you can blend all of those things together to really create just a magnificent love story, not just with another person, but for yourself.
That is amazing. And how can people purchase the book in advance?
So they can definitely go to my website. It's at thewinterharris.com. It is literally on the first page of my website. You can go click pre-order and grab your copy. Once it is printed, I will sign it and mail it to you free of charge. We are hoping that people, will put their copies on reserve. It is going to be a blessing. That's my belief, and I know that God has given me this book to share with others just because I believe that there are so many people that are hindered by their fears. And if they can overcome their fears, there's so much greatness that is on the other side of that is just waiting to take hold of them if they can release and have the courage to let their fears go.
That is amazing, too. And I have to say, it is a good thing what you're doing. Oh, and speaking of good thing, you have a university, which you got a good thing going. So you can just tell us about that.
So, yes, this being university is in progress. It's a development that I'm working on with a friend of mine. And so there's a scripture in the Bible that says, he who finds a wife finds a good thing. And so the university is basically encouraging women to embrace the good thing that is in them. So finding a good thing in you. It's not just being attached to a man, but it's being attached to your purpose and embracing and walking in that good thing that God has called you to be, even before you take on somebody's last name. And so that's in development. No dates have been released yet, but we will get that out as soon as we're ready to move forward. So I'm excited. It's a lot of good stuff going on. I have a Creative to Be brand. That's my ministry. And we have 4 events now that we hold throughout the year. And we have our 2019 Creative to Be conference coming up in the Washington, D.C. area. Our keynote speaker is actually a former teammate of my ex-husband. He played for the NFL for 7 years. He finished off his career with the Redskins. And so Vernon Fox is our keynote speaker who'll be coming in from Las Vegas. And so he's actually an NFL player turned high school football coach now. And he's also a licensed minister. And so we're excited to have him with us in October. So if you are in the D.C. or surrounding area, that's North Carolina, Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, Delaware, you can get to us. You want to be at this conference. It's October 18th and 19th of this year.
That is amazing, and we'll make sure everybody heads to the D.C. area as well, too. And, of course, we have a few minutes here. We know you're very, very busy, and you work on numerous projects, just like many of us. What do you consider biggest influence in your career?
My biggest influence has been my mom. I just want to say happy birthday to my mom.
Happy birthday.
Yes, today is her birthday, and she is hands down my biggest influence. I was actually just sharing on social media that I cannot express just the power of her prayers and how they have truly covered my life. And I am 150% certain that the goodness that I've experienced and yet to experience is a result of her consistent prayers. She is a woman of prayer, has always been, and it's just a pillar of wisdom and accountability in my life. And she is definitely the largest influence to date in everything that I'm pursuing and desire to pursue.
That is amazing, too. And most importantly, what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
Man, know yourself. My dad would always teach us that from the time we were little. Know who you are and know whose you are. If you can achieve those two things, you are unstoppable.
That is amazing. I think you hit it right there, too. And Winter, just want to say thank you very much for your time. You've been just fantastic. Look forward to having you on again soon. And keep us up to date. And last thing, tell everybody once again what's your upcoming projects, what's your website, how do people contact you, and how can they purchase your books?
So I thank you so much for having me, Mike. This is definitely an honor, and I'm just grateful to have the opportunity to be on and share. They can find me on thewinterharris.com. That's how you keep up with my latest events, my speaking engagements, and where I'm going to be, my upcoming book tour. You can also pre-order Bold, Brave, Beautiful Love on that page as well as find the links to my other books. You can follow me on all social media. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Harris Winter. And then with my brand Created to Be, we have 4 events throughout the year. We have the conference that's coming up in October, our healing retreat in January, our boss brunch in June, and our new men's conference that's coming up in August of next year. And you can go to created2be.com to find out more information. That
is amazing. Winter, just want to say a big thank you for your time coming on the program. Looking forward to having you on soon. And please do everybody a favor, keep this up to date.
Will do. Thank you so much, Mike.
Thanks for listening to The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Listen online at themikewagnershow.com and on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And watch the interview on YouTube. Also, become a sponsor of the program and or donate today at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again tomorrow for another episode of The Mike Wagner Show.